I feel like if you ever feel something that strong, that is your God-given intuition. God is trying to tell you, turn around. Welcome to Vids Rosa. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about Married at First Sight, Season 18, Episodes 1 and 2. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website, lividrosastyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like these handmade earrings that I'm wearing right now. Make sure you check out the website and use that link down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Okay, y'all, so I gave up on Married at First Sight last season. It was a complete train wreck, but I promised y'all that I would come back this season and at least give this season a chance until the honeymoons. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Let me say, I do like the fact that within 2 episodes, they gave us the introductions, they gave us the wedding dress shopping, they gave us the bachelorette party, as well as most of the weddings. That's already an improvement from the past few seasons, because I remember some of those episodes, we would barely get a full wedding, okay? I still think they need to shorten the episode length. It's still a struggle to get through them because they're like an hour and a half. Like, please, just give us hour episodes. That's good enough. I don't know why they did the bachelorette party at a bowling alley for the women. I'm not saying they have to get as wild as they did in the past few seasons, but the bowling alley? The participants from this season are a little bit older. They're in their 30s. I always appreciate that. But also, that really means nothing because we already heard a little bit about the scandal that's going on this season. Apparently, there's going to be some wife swapping going on. And every time I see these individuals, I'm thinking, which couples decided that they were going to switch partners? I can't put my finger on it. If y'all already know, please do not spoil it in the comments, okay? But I'm like, that's how you know this season gonna be ratchet. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Michelle and David because we didn't get to see their full wedding. So Michelle has been single for 6 years. She says she's independent and, you know, she can take care of herself. She doesn't want to be taken care of, okay? She's an independent woman. She just wants a man to love her. She says she's from a small town. She moved there with no job. She just wanted to get out of where she was, and she ended up being successful. She told the experts that her type was a light-skinned black man. That's her type, y'all. Her type is a light-skinned black man, and that's how you know she really dates black men, because she specified light skin. Also, she says she doesn't want anybody too vanilla. She wants someone that has a beard, tattoos, and y'all, that's exactly what she got. Even her friend mentioned man bun. That's literally exactly who they gave her. David is the man of her dreams. Light skin, man bun, beard, tattoos. And then on top of that, he has a thing for blonde hair, blue eyed women. So they are a match made in heaven. I will die if this is one of the couples that did the wife swap, because I'm like, y'all got what y'all wanted physically. I mean, the experts have never done this well matching up people's physicals type. So I'm just like, I know it ain't one of y'all. But yeah, the whole preference thing can be really weird, especially if you prefer people that not are of your own race. That's always a little odd to me, but to each his own. He talks about how in his family the women are strong and independent, and they are the ones who pretty much run things around there, so he is not intimidated by an independent woman. And when he was telling his family about him doing this show, his grandmother was talking about how the mom is going to have a problem with it and how she's going to have a stick for her, and they kept saying, I'm not going to bring my stick this time. I'm just like a switch? Like, that's not my culture, so I don't know what they mean by stick. I hope they don't mean a literal stick. Clearly, he's a mama's boy. He's a proud mama's boy. And I have a feeling they're a little codependent because he still lives at home. And I don't see anything wrong with still living at home if it's for a purpose. He said he's saving up to have a house. So I don't see anything wrong with that. But the way that they're so meshed with each other, and he talked about how, you know, people leave home because they want to get away from their parents, but he loves his parents and he wants to be around them forever. I wonder how that's going to work with their relationship. If you are dependent more on your mother for emotional support than your partner, that could become a problem, especially if you involve her in your arguments and stuff like that. The wedding rolls around and it's his birthday, and he feels like that's a good sign because his father married his mother on his birthday. His brother married his wife on his birthday, and both of them have been married a while now, so he looks at that as a great omen. His brother gave him a book on how to be a husband, and, you know, it had little things in there like make sure you make up the bed, take out the trash, you know, things like that. But he said the one you need to focus on is you need to learn how not to react so quickly, and you need to learn to listen to your wife's perspective without jumping to conclusions. Remember how a couple of seasons ago, Michaela, Hurricane K, how her siblings kind of pointed out that she can be a little wild and crazy when she don't get her way? I hope this isn't foreshadowing, because he made it a point to impress that upon him, and I'm just like, well, what does that mean? From her side of things, you know, she's nervous. Her sister seems like she's gonna be alive. She was doing the most without even meeting him, and was thinking about all these questions that she was gonna ask him. So I wonder how their families will mesh, because both of them seem to have very loud, strong personalities. So I could see them really getting along or really clashing. But they haven't met each other yet. We'll see how they feel about each other when they meet at the altar. I personally feel like it's going to be love at first sight because, like I said, they are each other's type to a T. Next up is Ikechi and MM. Ikechi has tried out for the show before. He tried out when they were casting in Houston, and they couldn't find him a match there. So at some point he moved to Chicago, and so he ended up being matched this time around, and he feels like it was meant to be. He said he's been writing letters to his future wife for years now, and so he said he's had visions of this, and he feels like everything is falling into place for him. And, you know, he's saying all the right things, y'all, but it be these ones, the ones like him, that act up the worst on this show. So I'm gonna reserve judgment. I'm gonna hold it. But every time he opens his mouth, I just want to give him the side eye, because you better do right by this woman. Y'all let me know what y'all think about it. Then we had MM. She's a nurse practitioner, and she said that she put her career before having a relationship for years, and now she's ready for marriage. Later on in the episode, she said that she has been engaged before, and, you know, he just wasn't the right person. She says when she meets him that she plans on catering to her husband wholeheartedly, and, you know, the whole time before she met him, she kept singing that Beyonce meme, I am going to see my husband. I'm happy. Let's see, you know that one? She kept singing that the whole time. Before she walked down the aisle, her friends gave her this beautiful piece of jewelry with her dad's face on it, and he has passed away, and he was her biggest cheerleader, and so for him not to be there was really tough for her. So that was a really beautiful thing that her friends did for her. She really broke down and got emotional about it, obviously. Also, her mother is very traditional, so she believes in arranged marriages. She's Nigerian, and so that's a part of their culture. But what she doesn't agree with is it being publicized and broadcast on national television. So while she is as supportive as she can be, she's not gonna show up because I guess she doesn't want to be on camera. She seemed upset about it, obviously. You know, one parent couldn't be here, and then the other decided not to come. So While that was kind of a damper on things, she still had high spirits. And right before she walked down the aisle, she read a letter that he wrote to her, and it had all the girls in the room going crazy, like, "Oh, girl, okay, you got you one," based off the letter alone. So then, she walks down the aisle. They both looked like they were pleased with what they saw. I think they were attracted to one another. Um, And once she got there, he kind of signaled to his friends, like, "I'm good. I don't need y'all to come rescue me." It was very pastor coded the way he said it, too. Everything he does is pastor coded. And she gives first lady, does she not? When he read his vows to her, they started off with, "Where have you been?" And, they had all the women swooning. Oh, my God. He knows exactly what to say. He even said beforehand that women tend to fall for his poems and for his talent more so than him as a person. So he was hoping that that wouldn't happen this time around. They read their vows to one another, and obviously it was time for them to kiss. And why did MM turn her head and open her mouth? MM did a lot with that kiss by literally turning her head and open mouth kissing this man in front of everybody. That's her husband. I was so tickled when she did that. Emil was just very forward the entire time. She kept looking him up and down, smiling. She could not stop laughing. Even after they kissed each other, the officiant had to tell her, "Look, I'm not done." She was ready to drag this man to the hotel room already. Like, slow down. This is already an expedited process. Once they left the room and they had their little first one-on-one meeting, she tells him her name means peace of God, and it's Igbo. Turns out his name is Igbo as well, and it means God's power, and his last name means warrior. And it's funny because both of their names are Igbo, but he is not Igbo or Nigerian. He doesn't have anything to do with the culture. He is a college counselor and helps kids get into college with scholarships where they don't have to pay for anything. Obviously, she's a nurse practitioner, so they connect over the fact that they both like to serve. And he said he made it clear that he wants to marry a black woman. She made it clear that she wants to marry a black man that dates black women. And that's what both of them got. So I do feel like they were a great match. She was just coming on very strong. I hope that doesn't throw him off. I think she's just really excited about this process. And, she's ready to be married, have a family. So she said she was willing to move. What you need me to do? She said she's ready to be submissive. Okay? We'll see how this goes, y'all. Because she claims she'll follow her husband. But that personality isn't giving that. So we'll see how that actually plays out. So let's move on to Madison and Alan. Madison is very outgoing. She's the life of the party. She said that her physical type is usually muscular, baby face, pretty boy look. And it's funny because Alan is not that. So I was really concerned that she was not going to be attracted to him. We'll talk more about that when they actually meet each other. But she said that her parents separated at a young age, and she was raised by her dad because her mother really wasn't around to raise her. She didn't have her in those, teenage years when she really needed it. And she says she's been to therapy to deal with feeling abandoned. I can't imagine not having my mother growing up. It was bad enough not having a father, and I feel like I missed out on a lot with that. But not having a mother, that would, so many things you learn about being a woman, she would have to teach herself. So I can't even imagine, dealing with that. I probably would need therapy too. She's matched up with Alan, and he is a very funny, spontaneous type of guy. Always gonna keep you laughing. When we first meet him, he's with his mom, who was super emotional about it all. She seems like, that's mama's baby, and she was having a hard time accepting it, but is being supportive. He said he's a financial systems manager now, but he didn't grow up with money. His parents also have been separated pretty much ever since he was a little kid, And their dysfunctional relationship showed him what he did not want in a relationship. For his wedding, this would be his parents' first time seeing each other in a long time. And he was saying that as if there might be some drama when it comes to that. So hopefully that does not go down at the wedding. We didn't really get to see the rest of it. So they sent each other a gift. He sent her a gift that had a banana on top, and it said, "I hope you find this appealing." And she did. She thought it was funny. It really broke the ice with her, and she was really excited to meet him. And when she opened up the box even more, it had some Tiffany jewelry in there. Okay, so even if you didn't find that joke funny, this Tiffany jewelry, this, I believe it was a nice bracelet. That definitely did the trick with her. And she gave him a gift too. I don't think we saw what gift she gave him, but whatever letter she wrote to him, he was very emotional. And his father was not, I don't know, his father was kind of cold. Like, he was getting emotional, like, oh, like, I'm getting choked up before I even read it. And the dad was like, just read the letter. And it's like, this is your son's wedding day. Like, you could at least chill on this day. When she first walked down the aisle, he was very, like, he could not believe. He felt like he won the lottery when he first saw her, because she did look amazing. She looked gorgeous. She had her hair, dress, everything looked amazing. And looks wise, that is very much a catch for him. I was concerned about whether or not she would be attracted to him, but I don't think she wasn't attracted to him. And I think his personality overall really won her over. But she walked down the aisle, she put the banana in her bouquet, and he got a kick out of that. Whenever the ceremony started, he grabbed her hands and kissed them. I thought that was cute. He kept eye contact with her majority of the time, and that's a hard thing for strangers to do. Especially, I've noticed on this show, it's really hard for them to keep eye contact. So the fact that they were able to keep it, I was like, oh, maybe I do have a little connection. I don't know. It just bothered me that he kept cussing the whole time. Like, you're in front of her family. Like, let's have a little bit more couth. That's just me. That's just me. Oh, when they kissed, he asked permission to kiss her. And then she kind of held that kiss for a little bit longer than he planned on, but he was super excited to meet her. They find out that they work in the same field, and he can't believe that he hasn't met her sooner. So, checks off all his boxes. She seems like she's very pleased with the match. So, we'll see, y'all. It's always good to have a good first meeting, but that doesn't mean anything. We've seen it go left so many times on this show, I can't even get my hopes up with these two. Carla and Juan. We have Carla. She has very much hippie energy. She's consistently talking about how she manifested this situation. She says she comes from a traditional Mexican family, and her dad was very strict when it came to meeting guys, and she would have to be in serious relationships with them before he would even be willing to meet them. So that caused her to stay in relationships for a lot longer than she would have liked to, in order to please her family. He's originally from Colombia, and he is an immigrant. He came here when he was 7 years old, and his family really struggled. And now he lives in a high rise. So he literally came from the bottom. He is very emotional talking about being an immigrant. And he said he's had to embrace the unknown to survive. So a situation like this just feels natural to him. He says that his mom is not going to be easy. He said that he hopes that his wife gets along with his mother because she's not going to be easy. And his brother turned around and said, well, you're not easy either. And I wanted to know what that meant. He did say that he's a very intricate person. He likes things a certain way. He sounds like he's a little bit OCD about cleanliness and how the house looks. So hopefully they can get along on that tip. Right before the wedding, her friend reads a letter from her mother. And her mother isn't able to be there. One, because I believe she's in Mexico. And two, her father does not agree with being filmed once again. Like, that seems like a running theme with the contestants this season. When they first see each other, they're both very pleased with how each other looks. They're attracted to one another. One thing that really stuck out with something that her family had written about her, they said she doesn't like to be told no. And if you do tell her no, she'll find any way around it to make the answer yes. And I'm like, I know y'all thought that was cute, but that really made her sound manipulative. That would put a bad taste in my mouth. I would have been like, okay. He doesn't know anything about her. And that's one of the first things y'all tell him. But anyway, they had a cute kiss at the end. And, when they're talking to each other, they seem to have a lot in common. Their personalities mesh. She does hair and yoga. And he likes to cook and clean. She says she likes to do the same. He loves to dance, and she likes to dance, but she doesn't know how to salsa dance, and he plans on teaching her. Both of them are very traditional Hispanic people, but they said neither one of them have dated many Hispanic people. And I thought that was a little odd. I'm like, how are y'all so traditional, but then y'all have never really dated anybody within your culture? I don't know, y'all, but it made me concerned, like, well, are y'all really attracted to each other? They seem like it, but are they really? So finally, we have Camille and Thomas. Camille's parents divorced caused her to be a people pleaser because in that situation, she just wanted to make everybody happy. And that was kind of a red flag for me, because I'm like, usually when people pleasers come on this show, they tend to get walked all over. And so I was like, whew, a little concerned about that. Said the experts cut out the middleman of having to date and vet these people. And I'm just like, ma'am, have you seen this show? I know you haven't seen that season with Chris. You couldn't have. No, they don't. And then we had Thomas, and I haven't really pointed out anybody else's age, but I'm pointing out his. He's 42. I believe he's one of the oldest people to have ever been featured on this show. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being 42, never been married, no kids. But the way he kept saying, my dad kept being on my head about, when are you going to get married? When are you going to settle down? And then we saw the previews of where he was in this 9-year relationship, but he never got married to her. I'm sorry, that is a red flag. That is a huge red flag. Why are you on this show? You wasted the other woman's time, and then you come on a show like this to get married? I know that was a slap in her face. We saw that he's a twin, and they are identical. Like, I could not tell one from the other. They really do look exactly alike. I don't know that I could date an identical twin. That would be just weird to see another person that looked exactly like my man. Like, what if I accidentally walk up to you thinking you my man? Like, I couldn't do that. It's crazy because after they met each other, she said that her only 2 siblings are twins, and his twin is married to another twin. So they just have twins all around them. Another red flag about him is that he is extremely, now he seems like he's OCD for real, because he separates his clothing not only by color, but by pattern, as well as type. So he'll have his V-necks together, his crew necks together. Unfortunately, his father has passed away from cancer. And this kind of made him realize that he wanted to go ahead and start a family. Him and his brother were adopted. And so there's the woman there that raised him, his mother. And then his biological mother showed up. And apparently they have reconnected within the past 7 years. And she was just so emotional and happy that he even invited her. And, they had a little moment. Now, right before the wedding, Camille was very nervous. And she was about to be a runaway bride, child. Like, we was about to have another one this season. Y'all know there was a runaway bride last season. She was on her way out of there, and she was telling her friends, like, I just don't feel right about this. This doesn't feel like me. I don't think I should do this. And I feel like if you ever feel something that strong, that is your God-given intuition. God is trying to tell you, turn around. I really don't know what's gonna happen. I don't have any of the spoilers. Like, this is just me just going based off what I saw. I wouldn't be surprised if this didn't work out, because she didn't have that reaction for no reason. So they did, her friend and everybody else came and talked to her. I believe it was producers. Like, everybody had to talk her down and encourage her to go back in. Even her father came out and convinced her to go ahead and walk down the aisle. When she walked down the aisle, he did look very happy to see her, but not sincerely, if that makes sense. I feel like he did a good job of projecting that he was happy to see her, but something about it felt odd. And you know, she looked beautiful, by the way. It's not because of her looks. I mean, she had all the personality at the altar. He seemed like he was, you know, really nervous, but that kind of made him more comfortable. Her just being talkative and telling little jokes here and there. And, you know, they had their kiss at the end. And yeah, that was cute or whatever, but it's too many red flags with this situation. And we've seen couples on this show break up for less. And I'm really, a part of me really feels like he's one of the wife swap couples. I feel like he's involved. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below. Are y'all watching? I know a lot of people say that they'll just watch reviewers, they'll watch my reviews, but they're not actually watching the show. So I would love to know, are you actually watching this season, or have you been turned off 100% by the show? And also let me know, what are your opinions on these couples? Who do you think is going to be the wife swap couple? Well, the two couples that are going to be the wife swap couples. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.